Romans 12, and let's read verse 1.
我们再从罗马书第12章1到2节开始，我们读第1节。
Therefore I urge you, brethren, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies a living and holy sacrifice, acceptable to God, which is your spiritual service of worship. And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you may prove what the will of God is, that which is good and acceptable and perfect.
我们一起读1到2节。所以弟兄们，我以神的慈悲劝你们，将身体献上，当作活祭，是圣洁的，是神所喜悦的。你们如此侍奉，那是理所当然的。不要效法这个世界，只要心意更新而变化，叫你们察验何为神善良、纯全、可喜悦的旨意。
I want us to look now at the phrase acceptable to God.
好，我们现在要看是神所喜悦的这个词。
The word here, acceptable, can also mean well-pleasing, that it pleases God.
神所喜悦的意思就是神很喜欢的。
You and I are always seeking to please someone.
你跟我总是在想要讨一些人的喜欢。
Some people seek to please themselves.
有些人是讨自己喜悦。
They are all about themselves.
他们一切都是以自我为中心。
But then there are many people who seek to please others.
但还有很多人呢是要讨别人的喜欢。
Even people they don't like.
甚至他们不喜欢的人也要讨他们喜欢。
But then there's another category of people.
但是还有一种人，
A people that are very free
这些人是很自由的，
and have found the meaning of joy.
他们找到了喜乐的诀窍
They
和意
seek
义。
to please God.
他们寻求讨神的喜悦，
Just to please Him.
单单讨他的喜悦。
You know, sometimes we complicate Christianity so much
有时候你知道，我们把基督教搞得很复杂，
with all our ideas and everything else.
我们有很多的想法，这个方法那个方法的。
And many of the strange doctrines that are blowing through the church now complicate so many things.
还有今天各样的在教会里的异教之风，把我们的信仰搞得很复杂。
But in reality, our greatest concern should be only one thing.
但其实我们应该关心的最大的关心的焦点只有一件事，
To please God with the life that He's given us.
就是用他所赐给我们的生命，单单的讨他的喜悦。
And to please God in the circumstances that He has permitted around us.
不论他允许我们遭遇什么样的遭遇，我们都要来荣耀他，来讨他的喜悦。
We can be pleasing to God when we're preaching the gospel.
当我们传福音的时候，我们可以讨他的喜悦；
We can be pleasing God when we are fasting.
当我们禁食的时候，也可以讨他的喜悦。
But we can be pleasing to God when we're laying sick in bed,
那当我们生病在床上的时候，也可以讨神的喜悦；
or when trials are all around us.
或者我们遭遇各种各样患难的时候，也可以讨神的喜悦。
We can be pleasing to God when we say no to too much food.
当太多食物我们说不，我不吃了，也可以讨他喜悦。
But we can also be pleasing to God when we eat our food with great joy and delight.
当我们享用食物的时候，欢喜快乐、吃喝快乐的时候，也可以讨他喜悦。
We could be pleasing to God because we abstain from marriage for a time in order to carry the gospel to a place.
我们可以讨他喜悦。当我们在婚姻上，我们跟妻子分房，为了要把福音传给别人，可以讨他喜悦。
And we can be pleasing to God in our marriage and in our delight in our marriage.
但是当我们结婚，我们在婚姻里头，我们夫妻彼此相爱，也可以讨主喜悦。
We can be pleasing to God because we refuse to buy an expensive car that we do not need.
当我们没有必要买一部很豪华的车，我们不需要的时候，我们不买它，可以讨神的喜悦。
And yet we can be pleasing to God when we buy a car that we delight in and that we need.
同时，我们需要一辆车，我们很喜欢，我们把它买下来，也可以讨主喜欢。
The key is to be pleasing to God.
关键是讨神的喜悦。
You know, we can be pleasing to God because we don't spend extravagant amounts of money on clothing.
我们不把钱花在那些昂贵的衣服上，这个时候可以讨神的喜悦。
And yet you can be pleasing to God because you buy a dress that really looks nice.
那同时，我们买一件很漂亮的衣服，也可以讨主喜悦。
You see what I'm trying to teach
你
you?
知道我在设法要教导是什么吗？
We're not talking about legalism.
我们讲的不是律法主义，条条框框。
We're not talking about carrying burdens that God never commanded us to carry.
我们讲的不是背负一些神没有叫我们背负的担子，
But we're talking about offering our lives as a living sacrifice.
我们乃是在讲论将自己身体献上当作活祭。
We're talking about separating God as most high in our heart.
我们在讲论在我们的心里头将我们的主分别为圣，他是至高至上的。
We're talking about renewing our mind in the Scripture.
我们在讲论借着神的话语心意更新而变化，
And simply doing that which pleases Him.
单单做那讨他喜悦的事。
So, we are to live a life that is acceptable to God.
所以我们要活在神面前，要是神所喜悦的这样生活。
If you do that,
如果你这样行的话，
culture is not going to accept you.
我们周围的文化就不会接纳我们了。
Even some people within the so-called Christian culture are not going to be pleased with you.
我们周围这些基督教的文化传统也不会喜悦我们，也不能接纳我们。
But never forget this.
但不要忘记，
They will not be seated on the throne on that final day.
当审判的日子，他们不会坐在审判台上审判你的，
God will be seated on the throne.
唯独神在审判台上，
And it's Him that you should please.
唯独他你要讨他喜悦。
Now, children,
好，
young
孩子
people,
们、
listen
年
to
轻
me.
人注意听，
This is very important.
很重要。
You're going to have other young people around you putting pressure on you constantly.
你在你周围这些年轻人都会向你施加压力啊，
Always remember,
总要记得，
they will not be on the throne on that final day.
到了审判的日子，他们不会坐在宝座上审判，
They will be standing before God being judged.
他们会跟你一块儿站在神面前接受审判。
Don't seek to please your friends.
不要讨你朋友的喜悦。
If your friends are asking you to do something that is against the will of God,
如果你的朋友叫你做一些不讨神喜悦的事，你不要讨他的喜
you
欢，
must please God.
你必须单单讨神的喜欢。
But you can't do that
但是你办不到，除非
unless you know His Word and His
除非你
will.
知道他的话语，你明白他的旨意，要不然你办不到。
Another thing, young people, that I want you to see.
还有一件事情，年轻人，我要你看见的，
I have been around Chinese youth,
我曾经跟一些中国的年轻人在一块儿，
and I've also seen this among South Korean youth.
而且南韩的年轻人也是这样，
They have a deep respect for their parents,
他们对父母亲都很尊重，
or at least they do not want to offend their parents.
至少他们不愿意叫父母亲不喜悦，
And so they seek to be pleasing to their
所以
parents.
年轻人都愿意讨父母的喜欢，
And that's good.
很好，没错。
But they also seek to be pleasing to their parents with regard to Christianity.
但是在基督教的这些事上，他们也想要讨神喜欢，
That can be both good or bad.
这个可能是好事儿，也可能是坏事儿。
Why?
为什么？
If you are going to church just to please your parents,
如果你上教会仅仅是讨你父母的欢喜的话，
just so they will not be offended,
好叫你父母不至于跌倒，你去教会，
that is very dangerous.
这很危险哦，
Very dangerous.
很危险。
You should go,
当然，你应该去教会啊，
but you should also recognize you're wrong.
但你要明白，你去的动机不
You
对。
should be going not because it's the religion of your parents or the God of your parents.
你去教会不仅仅是因为这是你爸妈的信仰，是你父母的传统，不仅如此而已。
You should be going because He is your God.
你应该来教会呢，是因为他是你的神，
It is your religion.
这是你的信仰。
We say oftentimes in America, God has children,
我们往往在美国会说，神有儿女，没错，
but God does not have grandchildren.
但神没有孙子孙女儿。
You are not a child of God because your parents are children of
你不
God.
是因为你爸妈是神的儿女，你就成为神的儿女。不是的，
You must have a personal relationship.
你必须自己跟神建立关系。
I have met many Chinese and Korean youth.
我碰到很多中国的还有南韩的年轻人
who even when they went to college,
当他们到了大学
they would join the Christian group and
他们
everything
会
else.
会参加这个基督教的这个团契啊等等，
They would seek to be moral.
他们要做个好孩子。
But when I talked to them,
但是当我跟他们对话的时候，
there was really no personal reality of Christ.
我发现他们跟基督没有个人的关系。
They were trying to be good to please their parents.
他们想要做个好孩子，为了要讨父母的欢喜而已。
That is good,
这固然好
but it's not
但
enough.
是不够。
He must be your Savior.
他必须成为你个人的救主，
You must have your own personal relationship with Him.
你必须跟他建立自己个人的关系。
Just remember that.
记得，
Now, it says that we're to offer our lives as a living and holy sacrifice.
好，就是说将我们身体献上，当作活祭，是圣洁的。
That sacrifice is to be acceptable to God.
好，这个献祭呢是神所喜悦的。
And then he says it's your spiritual service of worship.
他继续说：“你们要如此侍奉，那是理所当然的。”
Now, this phrase is difficult to translate
好，这个理所当然很难翻译啊。
because it can mean spiritual service of worship
好，这个意思可以翻成是属灵的敬拜或是侍奉，
or logical service of
或者
worship.
也可以像中文翻译的是理所当然的、合乎逻辑的侍奉。
Or another word for logical, reasonable.
换言之，就是合情合理的。
So what are we being told here?
这里到底在讲什么呢？
How do we truly spiritually worship God?
我们怎么样才能够属灵的来敬拜神、侍奉神
If？you want to offer true spiritual worship,
如果你要把真正的敬拜献给神，
what must you do?
你应当做什么？
Offer your life as a living
你要
sacrifice.
把自己的身体献上作为活祭。
You know, today, Christian music has gone through a lot of
你
changes.
知道今天的基督教的音乐啊，经历了很多的风波跟改变。
Christian worship has gone through a lot of changes.
教会的敬拜也有很多的改变，
And not all of them's bad,
不都是坏的改变啊。
but it has it almost seems like it's manipulative.
但是似乎就是有一些操作的，有一种人工的在外操作的敬拜，
And it's self-centered
很自我中心的，
in many ways.
很多方面
I
的。
ask people, why do you go to that church?
我问别人为什么你去那个教会，
And some of them will say, because the worship is so
他
good.
们会说哦，因为他们的敬拜很好
Now,
啊。
that can be a correct statement.
当然这可能是事实
But，oftentimes what I've discovered is this.
但往往我发现其实
They're saying the praise band is really good.
他们说这个敬拜很好的意思，说他们那个唱诗班或者那个乐队挺好的。
And there's a big difference between the
这
two.
两者完全不同哦。
Also, I've noticed this.
而且我常常注意到，
We had a lot of college students that were coming to our church.
我们教会有很多大学生来，
And many of them very devoted.
他们有很多都是很敬虔的，
I mean, there's the reality of Christ.
但是他们真实认识基督。
But I noticed when they first came to our church
但我注意到，当他们刚刚来我们教会的时候，
that they really didn't sing that much.
他们起初
They didn't worship with much
似
force
乎
when they sang.
他们唱诗赞美的时候没有热情，不敬拜，不唱诗。
And I thought, why is that?
我说为什么这样子？
Because I was with them enough to know their life,
因为我常常跟他们在一块儿，我知道他们的生活如何，
and I could see they really loved the Lord.
我看得出来他们真正爱主。
But when worship began,
但是当我们敬拜的时候，
they were very passive.
他们很消极。
And I came to realize something.
我后来明白了，
In many churches, that's exactly what young people are being trained to do.
很多教会啊，年轻人所教导的就是教他们这么做，
Because there's a worship band
因为有一个敬拜的带领，这个
who
敬
does
拜的
all the singing.
他们敬拜，他们在唱，
And you kind of watch them.
你就看他们
It's almost like entertainment.
就好像娱乐一样。
Now, I'm not saying it's
看戏。
wrong to have a worship band.
我不是说有一个敬拜的队伍，有
What
个
I'm
敬拜的
saying
带领
is-
不对啊。我的意思呢是说，
What is true worship?
什么是真正的敬拜？
Just because everyone's got their hands in the air,
人人把手举在空中就是敬拜
or
吗
the？ music is very emotional and moving,
或者那个音乐非常的优美，非常感动人，叫
it
敬拜吗？
doesn't mean it's true worship.
这不见得是真正的敬拜啊！
True worship can only be given by those who have given their life to Christ as a living sacrifice.
唯有那些把自己身体献上作为活祭的人，才能够真正的敬拜神。
Do you see that?
看到没有？
So how can you truly give spiritual worship?
你怎么能够真正的有那属灵的敬拜？
Only by offering your life to Him.
唯有把自己身体献上作为活祭的时候，才能。
There's another thing I've noticed about worship, Christian worship today, that I would just like to point out.
还有一件事，我注意到今天的现代的敬拜，我要指出来的。
And again, I want to say that there are some really good songs being written today.
当然，我要再说一次啊，今天也有很多美好的新的诗歌创作出来。
And not everything is bad. Some is very good.
不是所有的都是很糟糕，也有一部分是美好的敬拜。
But I've gone into churches where people will be more expressive and raise their hands and things like that.
我到一些教会，那些教会比较表达性强一点，会举手啊等等啊，
And there's nothing wrong with that.
这本身没有错。
But I've seen something that's a little bit dangerous.
但是我也看到一些危险的成分。
Imagine, here are the lyrics or the word to the song.
你想想，这些是这些歌的歌词。
Then also there's the music.
下面是歌谱。
And I've noticed that when the music goes up
我发现到，当这个音乐进入高潮的时候，
and becomes very powerful and very emotional,
当音乐非常的强烈、非常的带着感情的时候，
the hands and the emotion goes up.
人的手就举起来了，情感也就挑起来了。
And that at least some of the emotions in the people
至少这些敬拜者心里的一些情感
are motivated more by the force of the music
是被音乐的这个音乐所挑起来的
than the truth of what's being sung.
而不是被他们所唱的这些歌词里面的真理所激励出来的，不是的。
I've looked back on my own life.
我回想我自己的生活，
And I can recall some songs that really moved me when I was, 30 years ago.
我可以想到有些歌，譬如30年前，有些歌真正大大的感动我的心，激励了我。
And I can look back on them now
我可以现在回想起那些歌，
and realize it was the music,
我想到是那个音乐，是音乐，
or it was actually statements that weren't even really that biblical.
是还或者那些不太合乎圣经的一些话语，那个歌词在影响我。
And so we need to be very careful,
所以我们要很谨慎，
very careful.
非常的小心。
And again, I want to go back to this thing that, if you're going to a church because the worship is really good,
好，我们再回到这个主题啊，如果你到一个教会，因为他们的敬拜很好，
ask yourself this question.
你要扪心自问一个问题：
Is it biblical?
他们所唱的合乎圣经吗？
Is the song that's being sung, is it biblical?
他们所唱的内容本身有没有圣经的依据呢？
Another thing to ask yourself,
另外一个你要自问的问题：
is the preaching good?
这个教会的讲道如何？
Is it biblical?
他们所讲的合乎圣
Is
经
it
吗？
expository preaching?
是不是按着正义分解真理的道按卷查经
Are
呢？
they seeking to bring the word out?
是不是把圣经本身的意思带出来呢？
A few years ago, I was in a country.
几年前我在一个国家啊，
I don't need to say where,
我不提是哪里，
but they invited me to just come into this area that was very dangerous. It was the very poor slums.
他们邀请我到一个穷人区，一个很危险的一个地区讲道。
And so I went in to see the churches, a few of them that night,
我那天晚上呢，就去看了一些教会，探望他们。
and they were extremely emotional.
他们非常情绪激昂，
I mean, really emotional.
我的意思说，他们真是热情澎湃。
That preacher was screaming and jumping, and
那个传道人又蹦又跳，哇！
And the people were singing and dancing and
信
everything
徒
else.
又唱诗又跳舞的，唱灵歌跳灵舞的。
Almost everything that was said,
但是几乎所说的一切，
most of it was not biblical.
大多数都不合乎圣经。
But in the midst of it,
但是在这一切的当中，
I found even myself getting excited.
我发觉我自己也投入了，好激动的。
It's the power of entering into an atmosphere like that.
是这个进入这样的环境所带来的一种共鸣啊！
And that's not necessarily bad
这本身不是一件坏事啊。
if what's being done is biblical.
如果所做的是合乎圣经的，
If what's being said is
如果
biblical.
所说的也是合乎圣经的，
So you have to be
是一件
very
好事。
discerning.
所以我们必须要非常有分辨力。
Now, on the other side,
另一方面呢，
there are some churches that are very classical,
还有一些教会非常的古典，
and they can be dead as a rock.
他们可以像石头一样的冷冰冰的、死板的。
We don't want any extremes.
我们不要走任何极端，对不对？
You shouldn't take pride in the fact that you scream and dance,
你不要认为你唱灵歌、跳灵舞、蹦蹦跳跳你就值得骄傲。
and
一
you
方面，
should not take pride in the fact that you don't.
另一方面，你也不要因着你死板板也引以为豪。
We need to seek to be biblical.
我们需要合乎圣经的平衡。
And if we are biblical,
如果我们合乎圣经的话，
there will be times when there is great quiet and solemnity.
有时候在教会里头会有很大的安静，
But there may also be times of great excitement
同
and
时
passion.
也会有热情奔放的时刻来敬拜他。
What you're looking for is, does it conform to the scriptures?
关键是你要看它是否合乎圣经。
Now, he says, it is your spiritual service of worship.
好，他说这是理所当然，就是属灵的敬拜，也可以翻译作。
It can also mean it's your reasonable service of
好，
worship.
中文翻译作是理所当然、合情合理的侍奉。
Let me share with you something here.
好，让我跟你分享一些事。
It is not reasonable to give your life to a man.
当你把生命献给一个人的时候，就不是理所当然，不
It
合
is
情合
not,
理。
it is not reasonable to offer yourself as a living and holy sacrifice to some pastor.
你把自己身体献上，当作活祭献给一个牧师或者牧者，是不
Or
合情合理的；
to a church,
或者给一个教会，也是不是
or,
理所当然；
or to an ecclesiastical organization.
或者一个宗派，或者一个什么机构，也都是不合情合理。
If someone ever tells you that you need to do that,
如果有人告诉你，你需要把自己献上给一个宗派的话，或者一个人的话，
it's a cult.
这是一个邪教，
It's not reasonable.
这不是理所当然的，
It's not.
不是的。
But it is reasonable to offer your life as a living and holy sacrifice to God.
但是把自己身体献上当作活祭献给上帝是理所当然，合乎逻辑。
Remember the story I told you last night about the young man who began to share the gospel on campus?
你记得昨天晚上我跟你讲到那个年轻人的故事，他开始在学校校园里头传福音，
And everyone thought he was crazy.
人人都以为他疯了。
Why are you doing
你
this?
干啥做这些事儿呢？
What was his answer?
他的答案是什么？
He only needed one answer to prove that what he was doing was reasonable.
他只需要一个答案来证明他所做的是理所当然的，
Jesus died for me.
就是耶稣为我而死。
It is reasonable for us to give our lives to God.
我们把自己身体献上作为活祭是理所当然的，
He made our life.
因为他创造我们。首
It's
先，
His.
我们生命本来就属他，
He sustains our life.
而且他托住我们的生命。
Every breath you breathe comes from Him.
你的每一口呼吸都是他所赐予的。
He sent His Son to die for us
他更差他的儿子为我们而死，
and promises us eternity in His presence.
更应许我们永远在他的面光中活着。
It is reasonable
所以这是理所当
for
然
you
的。
to give your life to Him.
我们应该把身体献上
It's
给他
not，reasonable to give your life for money
把你自己身体献上给金钱是不合情合理的，
because you cannot take money with you.
因为你不可能把金钱带到天上去，
Because money cannot redeem your soul.
因为金钱不能够救赎你的生命。
And because some of the richest people in the world are also the most unhappy people in
因
the
为
world.
世上有一些最有钱的人，却是世上最悲惨的人，最不快乐的人。
It is ridiculous to live for your youth.
为你的青春而生活也是不可理喻的，
Because it only lasts for a few years.
因为你的青春转眼就要过去。
It is not reasonable to give your life just for this world.
你把自己的生命献给这个世界，仅仅为这个世界而活，是不是理所当然的？
But it is reasonable to give it to God
但是把生命献上给神是理所
and
当
in
然，合情合理。
service to Him.
服侍他、敬拜他是应该的。
You know, the older I get, the more this just becomes true.
你知道我越老，这些话我越有体会。
I'm 53.
我53了，我57了，
I mean, I'm not old,
我没老到那个地步啊。
but I am old enough to know this.
但是我够老了，能够明白这一点。
I'm not going to get stronger.
我不可能越来越强壮、年轻的，
I am not going to get prettier.
我也不可能越来越漂亮。
I am not going to, as the years increase, I'm not going to have less pain, but more.
当我的年龄一年年增长，我不可能是痛苦减少的，是痛苦越来越加增的。
Just think about it.
你想想，
If my life was here,
如果我的生命在此，
right now,
现在，
if it was only this life,
如果仅仅有这一生而已，
then the best is already past, hasn't it?
那我最好的人生已经过去了，对不对？成为历史嘛。
The best has already passed.
最好的青春年华都
With
成了历
regard
史，
to youth,
不管是青春年华
it's gone.
过去了，对不对？
You know,
知道，
I've lived long enough
Well-
to see an amazing thing.
我活得够长了，以至于我看到一些很奇妙的事儿。
And you young people won't be able to fully understand
你
this.
们这些年轻人也许不能完全明白。
But when I was, let's say, 17,
当我譬如17岁的时候啊，
there were movie stars just like today,
哇，就像今天一样，有很多的明星啊，
and famous singers.
非常有名的歌星。
Well, I saw them when they were beautiful
当他们很美的时候，我曾经见过这些人，
and strong,
他们强壮、美貌、
rich.
有钱啊，
Everyone wanted to be like them,
人人都羡慕像他们一
just
样，
like today,
就
right?
像今天，对不对？
But now,
那现在
more than 30 years have passed.
大概30多年都过去了，
Some of them are dead,
这些明星有些死了，
some of them are broke,
有一些破产了，
and all of them are old,
他们都老了，
and they're not pretty,
现在他们不美了，
and they're not strong.
也不强壮了。
There was a lady that was a famous movie star when I was just a teenager.
当我年轻的时候，有一个明星啊，有名的演员，
And I literally thought she was the most beautiful woman in the world.
哇，我真以为她是全世界最美的女人。
I saw a picture of her the other day,
前几天我看到她的近代的照片，
and she has a sickness.
她现在生病了。
And I don't mean this in a bad way.
我不是
She has an illness.
负面的说她真是生病了。
Her looks have been totally destroyed.
她的整个容貌都改观了，毁容了。
Now, that doesn't mean she's a bad lady,
这不是说她是个坏女人啊，
but it does point out a reality.
但是至少指出一个事实。
Young people, listen to me.
年轻人，你注意听啊！
All those famous people and actors,
你知道
and
这些
singers
演员啊、歌星啊，这些有名的啊，这些人呐、
that are so beautiful and you
现在。
envy them,
你看这么美貌啊，你好羡慕他们呐、
just wait 30 years
再等30年看看，
and see what happens.
看看会有什么结局。
You see, it's not reasonable
你知道，就不是理所当然的
to，give your life to this world
把你的生命投入这个世界，不合情合理。
in that way.
这么投入是不合
We
理。
should offer our lives to God
我们应该把身体献上给神，
and live in this world
活在世上没错，
and serve in this world
是服侍这个世界，
but always with the hope that this world is not my home.
但是我们所指望不是这个世界，因为世界不是我们的家。
And I'm waiting for a city whose builder, whose maker is God.
我在等候一座城，它的建筑者，它的创始者是上帝。
You know, there's a famous book that was written, and it's called Your Best Life Now.
你知道有一本很有名的书叫做什么？为今生而活，叫什么？活出美好。Joel Osteen.
But one famous preacher has said this.
你知道有一个有名的传道人说
If the best life you're ever going to have is now,
如果你仅仅在今生才能有最美好的生活，活出美好的话，
that can only mean you're going to hell.
意思就是你肯定下地狱了。
If you don't know Christ,
如果你不认识基督，
this is your best life now.
的确，现在是你最美好的生活，
Because all that's coming is judgment.
因为以后要来到的是审判。
But if you know Christ,
但如果你认识基督，
this isn't your best life now.
今生今世不是你最美好的一生，不，
It is to come.
那最好美好的还要来呢，是将来的。
Sometimes my son Evan,
有时候我的儿子叫
he has a
Evan，
real soft heart.
他的心很软，
And he'll see me tired,
他会看到我很疲
and he'll
倦，
come and sit by me,
他就过来坐在我旁边，
and he'll say, Dad,
他说：“爸爸，
I wish you were younger
我巴不得你更年轻点就好
so，you wouldn't feel this way.
你就不会那么疲倦啦。”
And I said, oh, son, I would never want to be younger.
那我说：“儿子啊，但愿我不会那么年轻，我不可能更年
He
轻。
says, why? ”
他说：“为什么？
Because I'm so much closer now,
因为我现在
so much closer to home.
离家更近了。”
I'm so much closer to my day of freedom.
我离开那个得释放、得自由的日子更近了。
I'm so much closer to my day of liberation.
我那个得解放的日子更近了。现在，
And I'll tell him sometimes, I say, son,
我有时候跟我儿子说：“儿啊，
I know I look older,
我知道我现在看起来老一点了，
but inside,
但是里面呢，
I'm still a 12-year-old boy.
我才12岁的小
I
男
don't
孩。
feel older inside.
我里头不觉得老，
This body's like a prison,
这个身体就像一个监狱一样。
and one day it'll be laid down
有一天我要把这个身体给放掉、弃掉，
until it is raised again.
直到这个身体要复活。
But I'm so much closer to my master than I was.
但是我现在跟我的主比从前更亲近。
I can't wait to see his face.
我按耐不住要见到他的面。
If I'm laying there as an old man
如果我躺在那儿是一个像老人家一样，
and I'm dying
我正在死亡，
and you come and pray for me
你来替我祷告，
and God heals me,
神把我的身体医治了。
when I wake up,
当我醒过来的时候，
I'm going to punch you.
我要揍你。
I don't want to come back.
我不想再回来了。
You see what a hope.
你知道何等的指望啊！
So I don't have to get plastic surgery in order to try to make myself look younger.
我没必要动那些美容手术，叫我更年轻一点，
Because I'm headed home.
因为我正在回家的路上，
I'm headed home.
我要回家，
So it's reasonable to serve him.
所以我服侍他呢是理所当然的，
It's reasonable.
这是合情合理的嘛。
But it's not reasonable to do anything else.
除此以外都是不合情合理的。
Now, let's pray, and then let's have a short break of about 10 minutes, and then let's go again before lunch,
啊
okay?，
我们做个祷告，然后休息10分钟，然后吃饭，然后
So that we can get at least 3 in this morning.
至少我们今天早上可以
All
上
right,
3
let's
堂
pray.
课。好，我们祷告。
Please visit our website at heartcrymissionary.com. There you will find information about the ministry, our purpose, beliefs and methodologies, and extensive information about the missionaries we are privileged to serve.